believe me, I had the most comfortable life possible in the United States. My life was like 10 out of 10 comfortable. What's up, guys? I'm currently on the 5th floor at the Proscenium. Gonna meet up with a friend and we're gonna go check out a grocery store called Säntis. I've never been there before and he just invited me, so yeah, let's do that. Oh, it's such a beautiful day right now. The weather is so nice, so agreeable. The sky is like blue and pink, and my goodness, this is a beautiful day. Woo-hoo-hoo. Gotta love it. Säntis Delicatessen, and that's located in Rockwell, right next to the Pancake House, right across from the Power Plant Mall. And yeah, I just popped it. That was the first time I went in there. It was really nice. I've walked by it so many times and I've heard great things about it. And my friend recommended it, and we just checked it out. And I like it. I'm gonna probably start shopping there occasionally. So, yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. Got the bird's eye view. What's up, guys? This is Justin here, and my friend was nice enough to let me in his actual unit that he just rented in the Proscenium Residences. This is a 1-bedroom unit in the Proscenium Residences tower at the Proscenium at Rockwell. This place goes for 70,000 pesos a month. It's super nice. It's fully furnished, and let me spin the camera around and show you what it looks like. It's really nice. What's up, guys? This is Justin here, and I want to just talk to you about the comfort trap that many Americans, that people from the United States fall into. What is the comfort trap, and why should you consider identifying if you're in the comfort trap and how to get out of the comfort trap? The comfort trap is where basically you get stuck in a fixed routine, such as a job, a lifestyle, and habits, trapped in one particular country, and you never really get ahead in life as a result. So many Americans have a very hard time getting out of debt. So many Americans have a very hard time just making their mortgage or paying their bills or having good relationships or taking care of their bodies, because so much emphasis in the United States is put onto like how many things that you own, how many houses do you own, how nice is your car, what was the price tag on your shoes or your clothes or whatever, right? And so many people don't have the ability to make enough money, pay the IRS, the taxes, and then put money into retirement, because what ends up happening is we're paying so much, like Americans pay so much for health insurance, and the health insurance only covers so much, and if there's ever an emergency you ever actually need to use, like the hospital medical bills, any savings that you could have saved up can be completely wiped out. That's how it works. That's the reality in the United States. So if you have a skill deficit that's creating a gap between you being able to move outside of the country of the United States, you need to identify like what that, I'll actually tell you just what it is. So if you cannot go to another country permanently to live, and the reason is because you are not able to have a job where you can work online, or have a business or a skill where you can make money online, that's the first thing you need to do. Obviously, if you have a family, you can bring them with you overseas as long as you can support them financially. Like, the way to get ahead for most men and women would be to like live in a country that costs significantly less and taking advantage of the taxes, basically how it works, especially if you have an LLC like me that's treated like an S Corp. I only have to pay 15% taxes on whatever the salary is that I pay myself. So, and then everything above that's considered distributions, and I can basically live tax-free on everything above my salary that I pay myself. The 15% is 12.4% Social Security, limited to like the first 112K, and then the other part is like 2.9% Medicare. Those are things I have to opt into no matter what because I am a US citizen, but federal and state taxes don't apply on my distributions from my company. This is all completely legal, completely clean, completely legitimate, as long as you stay outside of the United States for 330 days a year. That gives you like 34, 35 days a year you can go in the United States if you want to visit your relatives or family or whatever you want to do in the United States. I'm personally going to go back and visit my family at least once a year for a couple of weeks at a time. And I'm not as concerned right now about saving money on taxes, but for over the next 10, 20 years, it's going to be a very large motivator and driving reason why I would want to not live in the United States. Moving to a country like Philippines is such a good option. It's such a good thing to do for a lot of United States people. Not only can you help the economy here and be a positive influence and a positive person and role model perhaps, or like an influence, not role model, I want to say influence, a positive influence in certain ways here in this country. And you can also take a lot of positive influences from locals, Filipinos and Filipinas, men and women here. They're very hospitable, they're very generous, they're very kind, very nice. They treat me incredible. So someone says, Justin, why do you want to live in the Philippines? Well, I am a foreigner, but even if I wasn't, I feel like I would still get special treatment. Like the folks here, they treat me really well. I get treated really well here. You know, I'm from New York, so how you get treated in New York is how you get treated in New York. You know, people are aggressive, they're intense, they're driven to achieve in New York, and can be very stressful. I'm not directly from New York City. I grew up in a small town a couple hours outside of the city, but it's still, the culture still kind of carries over as the New Yorker mindset and attitude, at least in my opinion. I've been to New York City many times, but also for the last 12 years of my life before I came to the Philippines, I lived in one of the most successful parts of Arizona and Scottsdale. And I was driven to basically just make money and just do that. And I made a lot of money, woohoo. I paid the IRS a ton of money. And then whatever I had left over after taxes, I pretty much spent on my living cost. I saved maybe 10%, 15, 20% after taxes, after my living cost. And I lived very extravagantly. I could have calmed down and lived on less, but I didn't because I was young and that's the way I was going at that age. But my point, if I have a point here, is it's so important to identify that gap and basically not fall into the comfort trap. The comfort trap is where you get so comfortable that you never want to leave your country just because it's familiar. Just because it's familiar, right? That's my point. Like, don't stay somewhere just because it's necessarily familiar, and challenge yourself to go outside of your comfort zone and get comfortable in places where you start off being uncomfortable, and then you start to get more comfortable and familiar and more certain, have more confidence with what you're doing with these other countries. But like, just saving money on taxes isn't the only reason to consider leaving the United States, but it's so much easier to get ahead in life once you consider these options. It just really is. You know, taxes are the biggest expense you'll pay as a human being if you're from the United States or Canada, or if you live and work in Canada or the European Union. Depending on the place, depending on your situation, like, taxes are the real deal. And you want to consider going where you're treated better. Like, I get treated better in the Philippines in the sense that, like, I can save $40,000 per year on taxes. That's not a small amount of money at all. That's literally what some people will make working 50, 60, 70 hours per week after taxes. Like, if you make 60 grand per year as an employee in the United States, you're probably keeping 40 grand after taxes. Round up a little bit, round down a little bit, whatever. And then you're living probably off the 40K. And if you manage to save 10% of that a year, that's 4 grand. If you have a health emergency and your deductible is like 4,000 for your Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, then you didn't even save anything. If you've got a mortgage and the market's going well for your house, then great. Then you finally found a way to improve your net worth like that. But if you're going overseas to work and you have that skill deficit, you know, basically figure out how to make money from an online job, an online business, and consider living in a place where you can get amazing tax incentives, where the locals treat you way better than you probably would get treated in your home country. And these are just thoughts and ramblings I wanted to share with you today. And you know, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this channel. Hopefully this conversation that I am kind of having right here by the proscenium at Rockwell pool at night just reflecting, is something that you found valuable, and hopefully I came across as someone who is just trying to influence you in a way where I'm giving you positive input on an option. Living overseas is not for everybody, I will say that. You know, moving to Southeast Asia or anywhere else in the world from the United States is a giant adjustment, I will say that. So hopefully you didn't already leave the video and you're still watching, so you've got that part out of me, because it is a large adjustment. Lots of things can go wrong in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing, but you can always get some help. You can always get consulting through Google for free by doing your own research. You can talk with someone like me or another person who has lots of experience with going to different countries. And I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but I would consider myself relatively experienced and seasoned. I've been to a lot of countries and I've done my best to get outside of my comfort zone, and I still have a long way to go, believe me, but I'll be the first to admit that I'm out there every day trying to get out of my comfort zone on purpose to expand what's familiar to me. But all this being said, this is not for everybody. There's a lot of people that cannot be away from their families. They want to be near their families. And I get that, I understand that, and I respect that. So it's not for everyone. It's not what I would consider a lifestyle where, for me, I love adventure. I like doing things that are considered adventurous. I don't like to do the same thing every day. I want to be doing different stuff. I want to be meeting different people. I want to be seeing different things. But I feel like I am most gratified inside when I'm seeing new things, when I'm meeting new people, when I'm exploring new places. Like, I know if I get lucky, I'll probably celebrate my 80th birthday and then die, and then nobody's probably gonna focus on me or remember me or think about me like 2 weeks after that event happens. You know, hopefully I live longer than 80 years old, but nothing's guaranteed, right? Nothing at all is guaranteed. But I know, and I go to sleep at night, one of the things that makes me happiest is just knowing that I'm seeing new things, I'm doing new things all the time. It's so easy to get in a fixed routine where, believe me, I had the most comfortable life possible in the United States. My life was like 10 out of 10 comfortable. I had a 5-bedroom house, 3,000 square foot in Mesa, Arizona, in Northeast Mesa, Arizona, beautiful suburbs. And I had a 5-bedroom house. 4 of those rooms I rented out to single adult men, and I collected $750 a room, made $3,000 in profit per month. I was living for free doing house hacking. My house was going up in value. You know, everything was great, right? I had like the nicest refrigerator, the nicest washer and dryer, I had like 6 TVs in the house that were like Samsungs. I had all the nicest stuff. That's my point. My life was as comfortable as it gets. And I can tell you, I am so much happier now living in a 400 square foot studio apartment in Manila, Philippines, with my current girlfriend, who I'm so grateful and lucky to have, because there's so much variety in my life now. I just love everything that I get to see, all the people I'm getting to meet, just the new things I get to see being in a totally fresh country. And I love, you know, how I'm treated here. And I love the other incentives. The financial incentives are great. I work so hard for my money, and it hurts so bad to just focus on the fact that, like, I've made over $2 million in my 20s. That's pretty good. For a 20-year-old, you know, a guy who's in his 20s. I made a lot of money, and I regret to say that I saved very little of it. I've saved maybe 10% of it, like, so 50% pretty much going straight to the government if you round up. I saved maybe 10-20% of what was left over after my living costs. So I'm getting better at saving money, but it's not just about like pinching pennies or scaling your business, which I've done so many times. I've had so many businesses making 100 grand a year, 300 grand a year, 600 grand a year, but you know, that's so much work. And it's just, it's so much work, and it starts to not become enjoyable. So this is a really long rant, a really long tangent, but my point is just like, consider like trying new things, consider getting outside of your comfort zone, consider doing these things. If you have a family, you can bring them here. So it's not really a good excuse, but if you have a skill deficiency, you can't. Because if you can't make money overseas from an online business like myself, if you want to learn how to do an online business, reach out to me. I can give you some examples of how I've done it very successfully. I've actually coached and mentored people before. But anyways, this video is not about that. This video is just about me encouraging you as a positive input, a positive influence to be like, hey, try to avoid the comfort trap that many Americans fall into, and try to push yourself to enjoy yourself more. All I'm asking is try to enjoy yourself more, push yourself to enjoy yourself more. That's what I recommend you try to do. Enjoy yourself more, you know? And maybe the way to do that is to try new things. That's what it was for me. So, all right, love you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention to this video. Thank you so much for giving me your time. You rock. Subscribe and hit the notifications bell if you want to see more content from me. I'll catch you in the next one, and bye for now.